Hi, welcome to Brady's Blunders, where I show you the mistakes in my games, hoping you don't make the same ones in yours. So, good news, I've been playing more Go lately, and that's nice. And more good news, I've been winning most of my games, so that's nice. As a matter of fact, I've been on a great streak lately, but that ended with my last game. And I lost that one. But that's also good news because that gives me more to talk about then, doesn't it? So this is the most recent game I played, and I'm playing white. And from this video, there will be 3 questions. All right, so my opponents played the Sanrense, or 3-star opening, and I've done a standard approach to it. And my opponent played the pincer, and I jumped into the corner, and we started a standard continuation. And I pushed up here, starting a joseki that I talked about in episode 9. So if you'd like to know more about the aji that comes out of this, go ahead and watch that one if you've not seen it. At any rate, what I was expecting was this. I was expecting this normal joseki, where black makes me eat a stone, and then plays on top, which grows his 3-star opening, grows the top, and makes me eat another stone, and finishes this way. Now this result is actually okay for both sides and is considered joseki. And white looks pretty small, doesn't have a lot of points in the corner, but the reality is white is fine no matter what. Even if black plays another move, white won't need to answer, so he's like super alive, and that's nice. And then white also has sente, so that's nice. Furthermore, black's position isn't as complete as it looks because white can invade here, and the way the stones are on the board right now, there's nothing that black can do about it. Black would have to play yet one more move to prevent it. So this weakness, which I talk about in episode 9, combined with super solid shape and sente, means that this is playable for white. But of course, when you look at black's outside shape, it's definitely playable for him as well. Black has another option instead of playing on top, and black can go ahead and start a fight like this. Again, white's going to live in the corner, so that's not an issue, but white's going to move out here or here and start a fight this way. And black's not super strong on either side, right? He's a little shortage of, has a shortage of liberties on this side, and this side doesn't have a base. So again, this is playable for black and for white. So it was this shape that helped me make some decisions a little bit later. So let's go back to what black actually played in the game, because he surprised me, and he played this way. Now I had no idea of this move when I saw it, and I didn't know if it was a joseki or not. All I knew was that I didn't know it. And so here was my thinking. And before I do that, this is the first of 3 problems, and this is the only one that I will suggest you pause on, but feel free to pause for all the problems. Okay, you're white. Where would you play now? Go ahead and pause if you like. Okay, so I guess I'll first show you what I did and then explain why. And I played here, and this isn't good, and I can refute it in a single move. And that move is this. With this move, black would have achieved everything he wanted, right? All the black stones are working well together. And his 4th line Sanrense stone is now up to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 lines, and with reasonably strong shape. Furthermore, even A is well positioned. That's not to say I can't or never will cut it, but it's not worth cutting now. And if I tried to cut it off, black could just sacrifice it and gain more outside power. So for me to cut it right now would probably be a mistake. So this would be a really good result for black. And if indeed if indeed this was proper, then this would be joseki for black, right? But it wouldn't be joseki because it's too good. So therefore, I should realize that I cannot allow this shape. And therefore I should know that my preventing that shape right here is the proper move. So if I'd been thinking right, I'd know that my move here works. And I considered this move, but I thought it didn't work, and here's why. I figured that when black pushed through and then played the regular joseki like this, that then I would be completely devastated with this move. You can see that I'm captured. I'm actually living tiny in the corner, and he's, completely thick and dominating the game. This would be awful. So therefore, I didn't play it. But I didn't look at the alternative that actually works for me. And that is when black goes ahead and plays here, that I can play this way. And so if black tries to capture these stones, I can move out. And clearly black can't play this, right? Because then my corner's too big and is outside. This would be a great result for white. So black needs to play this way. But I hope you can see now that it's actually black that's in deep trouble and is falling short of liberties. Because if black tries to block, I can play here. And if black moves out, I'm capturing those 4 stones. So instead of moving out, maybe black will go ahead and capture these 4 stones. But then I get a panuki. And it's not just a panuki in the center. This is a panuki that's directly reducing the whole point of black's game, which was develop this 3-star opening. So I've got a panuki in the center. He's not going to get that much. I'm too strong. And this move here looks just ridiculous. So this would be an outstanding result for white. So my first mistake, the mistake of the first problem, was I read pessimistically, and I didn't read far enough or wide enough. So instead I played here. But then, funnily enough, my opponent went ahead and didn't play this and played here. And this gave me the opportunity to go ahead and say, great, let's fight. Because I can see that white's got liberty problems over here and no base over here. So black played this Atari and I moved out, and black moved with me. And this is the second problem. So if you were white, where would you play now? So this is another blind spot in my game. And I went ahead and extended. And I extended because I figured I need liberties. To be able to fight effectively, I need liberties. And that may be true in most cases, but isn't completely true here. And I'll get back to the continuation in just a minute. But here, I need to recognize that black's got a really, really bad shape. And I really, really want to hit on the head of these 2 stones, like this. And this is the blind spot that I was talking about. And one of the concepts in Go, when you're reading and trying to figure out where you should move, is think about where should I play if sente moves are played. So, and we usually see this in the case when you're invading, right? If I want to go ahead and invade my opponent's territory, does he have sente moves on the outside that I must answer, that if he plays them, now it's clear that I've invaded too deeply. So it's imagining stones that aren't yet on the board that I should imagine on the board if they're sente for the opponent. So I normally think of this principle in terms of the opponent, but it turns out it applies for yourself, or for me in this case as well. And I need to recognize that moves at A and B for white are sente. And because moves at A and B for white are sente, then that means I can go ahead and hane. So it's like I'm imagining right now the stones at A and B and that black's gone ahead and answered. Then, of course, I would go ahead and hane. And I didn't even consider that in the game. And so why are these plays sente? Well, all right, let's say for the sake of argument that black cuts. Then I go ahead and move out. And black says, okay, no, this isn't sente. And I'm going to go ahead and eat this stone. Now, the reality is, maybe my best move is to move out. I'm not sure. But let's just say I don't. And I say, okay, no, you're going to eat that stone, I'll eat this stone. And black says, all right, I'll eat it. And then I eat it. Now my question to you is, who's better? Well, this is one of my real questions. But the answer is white's better. This whole top part was black's area of influence from the start, but I went ahead and took away the corner, and I got an equal result on the side. After all, the corner's mine. He's up on the 6th line, but I'm up on the 6th line as well. And for those reasons, this is a great result for white. But there's another reason it's good too, and that's because this stone is really badly placed. It's far too close to black's thickness. Right? Here's what I mean. Let's say black tanukis with this next move, and white wants to build the left side. Where would white play? Is there any way that white would play this, which is the equivalent of this stone here? No. That's way too close to thickness. White would play over here, or maybe over here. And playing as far away from thickness as possible. And this just shows why this move now looks ridiculous for black. So this would be a great result for white. And that's why the cut is unreasonable for black. So if instead black plays this way, now white can play here, and again black is faced with a conundrum, which is, which side do I help? And if black goes ahead and says, all right, my left side is weaker, I'm going to help that, then he's going to take tremendous damage on the top. And I'm not even sure what the best point is. Maybe white can even go ahead and play right here, right now, play on this vital point. I'm not sure. It probably works. But even if white isn't that creative or imaginative and just plays sort of the blunt moves, this still seems like a really good result for white, because black is going to go ahead and have to live really small, and white's completely crushed the top, which was the whole thing that black was trying to build when he played the 3-star point opening. And again, this would be a really good result for white. All right, so it's clear black can't play here. Black needs to help the top. But now white can go ahead and attack, and these stones look a little bit silly. This fight is definitely going to be good for white, and white should make quite a few points as a result. So again, I didn't even think of that hane because it looked very much like an overplay to me, because I didn't see the sente moves that weren't there. But this would have been a really good result. Well, anyway, so I backed off. And black backed off. So now we come back to the same problem, or a similar problem. Don't be tricked by when I say it's the same. So if you were white, where would you play now? And think of a few moves. Okay, I played here, which is perfectly good, and black answered, but then I played this move, which turns out it just doesn't work at all. It's just bad. Black pushed through, and the reality is I don't want to play this move unless I can confine black with this, right? Otherwise, I'm just, it's not effective. But clearly, this move doesn't work at all. Right? If black pushes through and I try to block, then black can play here. If I help this side, then he captures this group, and the opening is great for black. But similarly, if I help this side, then he can play here, and these stones, all the white stones look just ridiculous, and black doesn't look attackable, and this would be a really bad result for white. So yeah, my move was horrible, and I knew it was horrible, because as soon as black played here, I played here. And so what am I doing? I'm getting sort of a wall with flaws, and meanwhile black is living on the left-hand side. So yeah, this pushing from above when it's not really an attack is usually a very bad idea. And it's one I thought I got rid of in my games, so I'm kind of sad to see it back. All right. So if this wasn't right, then what should I have played? Well, once again, if I play here, it makes black answer the questions. And it's not easy. And probably black should go ahead and help the top. But then I get the result again that I wanted. I can go ahead and attack those 4 stones and profit as a result. And if black says, no, I'm not going to allow that, then oh man, there's just so many points I could play. I mean, I really want to play at this vital point. And maybe playing there now works, but I guess if I was playing, I would play here. And it's hard to find a good answer for black, and I'm not going to go through all the variations. But if black goes ahead and tries something like this, then again, I'm going to be able to just make a placement in here, and it's hard to find an answer for black. If he plays something like this, then again, I'm going to exploit the shortage of liberties of these stones. And it seems to me that there's not going to be a good answer. I mean, he certainly can't block here, because then I can play here, and I'm going to capture one side or the other. And yeah, like I said, it's hard to find any good continuation at all for black, and he's just too thin. Right, I think that's enough for this video. So let's rewind and talk about the key learnings. If black playing here was joseki, then I'd know it, and black would play here all the time. But the fact is, black doesn't get this variation, doesn't get that extension, and therefore I should know it doesn't work. And this is the beginning of the game. I've got all the time in the world to read, and prove that I'm able to play this move right here. Incidentally, this is a joseki. And I forgot to mention this earlier. Turns out this is a joseki, just not one that's very common. But when I play this, it turns out black should just go ahead and help the top. And now I can play at A or B, getting the corner and isolating the single stone. So this is still joseki, but it's one that I actually kind of like for white right now. All right, so that's the first result. I had to prove to myself that this move works. And then the second is a key learning, which is really big, is seeing the moves that aren't there. Right? If A and B are sente for white, then I can get away with this hane, and therefore this move is really good. And I really want to hane at the head of these stones because they're so short of liberties. So again, it's worth taking the time to read. Can I get away with this? And in this case, it would have been better. And then the third question, or the third problem, is very similar. And again, it's give black two sides to worry about. If you can do that, the game is going to be pretty good in this case. I hope this was an interesting opening / joseki video, and let me know what you think in the comments. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.